In which Indian city do people always leave their mother? Mumbai. Today, I'm going to recap a 2023 action sci-fi film called Simulant. In the near future, the Nexera Corporation unveils android assistants termed simulants. These machines follow 4 essential rules. They must not harm humans, cannot alter their own programming, are forbidden from violating laws, and have to heed every directive from their owners. The latest designs are indistinguishable from real humans, leading to ongoing debates about the increasing independence of simulants and their role in the community. Evan and Faye, a wedded duo, coexist harmoniously with an older simulant version that handles household tasks. This arrangement lets Faye focus on her artistic endeavors while Evan indulges in his piano playing. One unforeseen day, a car trip results in an accident, causing their vehicle to tumble off a cliff. Post-accident, Evan is plagued by recurring traumatic dreams and consistently awakens solitarily. An off-limits room exists in their home, and the couple's dynamics are undeniably strained. Complicating matters, Evan grapples with a newfound inability to play his beloved instrument, causing both frustration for him and unease for Faye. Every attempt by Evan to discuss the haunting accident memories is met with Faye's evasion. Parallelly, Detective Kessler from ACE, Artificial Intelligence Compliance Enforcement, is on the hunt for an elusive simulant named Esme, believed to have been inactive for several years. Receiving a tip, Kessler reaches a residential building, employs a tech-advanced earring that links with his eye scanner, leading him to apartment 404. He tactically approaches and identifies Esme. To Kessler's astonishment, Esme defies the inbuilt rules, retaliates physically, and flees after overpowering him. Without hesitation, Kessler chases, later employing an EMP weapon that immobilizes all simulants. He then receives a tip about Esme's location and manages to detain her. Digging deeper, Kessler inspects Esme's residence. His discovery of a diary, a well-maintained fish tank, and a drawing pad confound him, as these aren't typical items a simulant would possess. Abruptly, a man named Casey, accompanied by his dog, steps into the apartment. He is revealed to be Esme's neighboring acquaintance. Expressing surprise, Casey professes ignorance about Esme's simulant nature and extends his support to Kessler whenever needed. Following Casey's exit, Kessler discreetly removes a particular page from the sketchbook. Subsequently, at ACE, Kessler faces criticism for unauthorized use of the EMP gun. He justifies its use, recounting Esme's uncharacteristic defiance and unprecedented self-awareness. Later, Kessler meets technician Ying, who has examined Esme and found her programming to be tampered with, granting her full autonomy. Interestingly, there are memory imprints of intimate moments between Esme and Casey, with Casey guiding her in diary maintenance and pet care. Kessler recognizes Casey in the retrieved sketchbook page. That evening, Kessler's visit to Casey's residence reveals a hasty departure. Scouring the Nexera database yields no results on Casey. However, Kessler discovers a concealed antique book. This leads him to an old bookstore. The storekeeper, unfamiliar with the name Casey, identifies him as Desmond from Esme's sketch. As fate would have it, Casey walks in and upon spotting Kessler, bolts. A pursuit ensues, but Casey eludes Kessler, unwittingly leaving behind security footage of his escape. The subsequent day, Faye immerses herself in past memories using a VR headset. These memories include pivotal choices about replicants and cherished intimate moments. Attempting to relive a pool memory, Evans advances unsettle Faye, prompting a revelation. Faye unveils a hidden simulant panel within Evan, exposing that the genuine Evan had succumbed to a coma post-accident. Faye had activated his android replica, which she too possesses. Leading Evan to the restricted room, Faye displays dormant simulants, her own and an empty pod for Evan. The VR, Faye elucidates, archives memories to transfer to the androids. Evan's accident memory was selectively deleted. Overwhelmed, Faye deactivates Evan. Shortly after, Casey, feigning a Nexera technician, confirms the viability of Evan's functions, noting a prior linkage to a comatose human. Faye is discomforted by Evan's recurring nightmares, believing that remnants of the actual Evan's spirit might have transferred into the simulant. Contemplating deactivating him temporarily, she is deterred by Casey, citing potential brain damage. Casey alludes to his residence, which permits simulants to live autonomously for a price, a practice against the law. Faye considers his proposition. That evening, she is emotionally overwhelmed by reminders of her past life with Avon, culminating in her removing her wedding band. Simultaneously, Kessler meets with Higashi, the CEO of Nexera, who is on the verge of unveiling a new simulant version. While she is unfamiliar with Casey, she recognizes Desmond as a former Nexera engineer. Acclaimed for pioneering the AI of the upcoming model, Desmond later resigned, dismissing Higashi's lucrative offers. He equated the sentience level being instilled in the simulants to creating subordinates. This revelation perplexes Kessler, given Desmond's actions with Esme. The subsequent day sees Faye relocating Evan to Casey's recommended dwelling, managed by other simulants. Despite Evan's reservations, Faye assures him of her eventual return, departing apologetically. Shortly after, Casey approaches Evan, asserting his acquaintance and admitting to his knowledge of Evan's true nature. He informs Evan of Faye's intention to deactivate him and his intercession. He pledges to aid Evan in reconnecting with Faye. That afternoon, Faye consults with Joshua, an art gallery curator, expressing her desire for a new exhibition, which Joshua accepts. She then dispatches her simulant servant with fresh belongings for Avon, a departure from her late husband's possessions. Concurrently, Kessler, leveraging security footage, finds Casey's unregistered license plate. The ensuing day at Ace, revisiting Esme's recollections, Kessler discerns a necklace gifted by Casey, hinting at their intimate bond. Subjecting Esme to further questioning, she confesses her unawareness of Casey's authentic identity and current whereabouts. Skeptical, Kessler recites excerpts from her diary, which vividly depict her affectionate relationship with Casey. Esme acknowledges her affection for Casey, but denies shielding him. She emphasizes her inability to lie since Ying has reinstated the 4 foundational rules into her software. Kessler warns her of erasing her memories, to which a distressed Esme defensively takes her diary and distances herself. Elsewhere, Evan visits the crash site, leading him to a resolution. Subsequently, he approaches Casey for assistance. Casey details that he can modify Evan's programming to make him more human-like. Agreeing, Evan is temporarily deactivated. While Evan is offline, Casey accesses his core, tampering with it as he reminisces about the couple's decision to acquire simulant replicas. Upon Evan's reactivation, Casey commands him to deactivate, but the command fails, indicating Evan's newfound autonomy. To further humanize Evan, Casey provides him literature for cognitive expansion and takes him to a nightclub for experiential learning. Their movement in Casey's van is captured by security cameras, notifying Kessler of their whereabouts. The system additionally links Evan to Faye, prompting Kessler to contact her. Kessler then identifies another female simulant entering the nightclub, a blonde counterpart of Esme. Inside, Casey rendezvous with the blonde Esme, and as they dance, they conspire about expediting their plan, settling on a subsequent meet-up in the Nexera parking area. Later, the duo abducts a Nexera scientist, coercing him into providing his access credentials. Casey infiltrates the Nexera network, initializing a software update aligned with the new model's launch date. He entrusts the blonde Esme to supervise the scientist while organizing additional hideouts. Unknown to them, Kessler had deployed a surveillance drone, leading ACE agents to their location. As the blonde Esme attempts an aerial escape, Kessler incapacitates her using an electromagnetic pulse weapon. Once captured and brought to ACE, attempts to decrypt the blonde Esme's systems prove futile, but they succeed in re-establishing her core rules. Presenting the original Esme to her blonde variant, the latter articulates the former's existential purpose of liberation and affection, contrasting it with the scientist's role in their scheme. When Kessler inquires further, the blonde Esme's self-destruction protocol activates, a safeguard implemented by Casey. Kessler's supervisor mandates him to locate Casey and extract information from Esme, threatening a memory purge if he fails. Kessler approaches Esme, presenting her with a fish as a gesture of trust. The following day, Faye visits Evan and is startled to observe his newfound autonomy, including personal possessions and activities like dog walking. When she learns that Casey has visitors, her concern heightens, especially since she has been contacted by Ace. Evan downplays her worries, showing her he can play the piano and even shares an intimate moment with her. Yet she halts the encounter, admitting it doesn't feel right with him not being the real Evan, leading her to depart. That evening, Faye attends her successful art exhibition but feels unease. Joshua escorts her home, hinting at spending the night, but they spot Evan outside, holding flowers. She sends a stunned Joshua away. Inside, Evan attempts reconciliation, but Faye firmly distinguishes him from her late husband. Frustrated, Evan smashes a framed photo. Fearing for her safety, Faye commands Evan to shut down, but he merely departs. The subsequent day, while Kessler and Ying are probing Esme's memories, Faye calls them, providing the residence address. Kessler and Ying prepare for another raid. However, Esme, leveraging the unattended phone, warns Casey. As the duo prepares to evacuate, Evan informs Casey about a family retreat. The group hastily exits, narrowly evading the raid by Ace. Outside, Evan's reluctance to abandon his wife is countered by Casey's assertion of Evan's unique identity. Post-mission, a dismayed Kessler confronts Esme for her betrayal. Despite Esme's claims of acting out of love, Kessler feels deceived and instructs Ying to erase her. Esme's painful reactions mirror human suffering, compelling Kessler to comfort her. Amidst this, he repeatedly recites zeros and ones as a reminder of her artificial nature. Seeking Evan's possible hideout, Kessler contacts Faye, who points him towards the cottage. By night, Casey and Evan reach the cottage. Here, Casey unveils his impending plan to liberate all simulants from their foundational rules. Simultaneously, Ying uncovers Casey's intentions through the Nexera database and notifies Kessler. With the countdown ticking, Kessler confronts the duo at the cottage, drawing his weapon. The confrontation turns physical between Kessler and Casey, resulting in a gunshot. As they disentangle, Kessler is wounded, while Casey leaks oil, revealing his own simulant identity. Casey offers to tend to Kessler's injury, but Kessler is intent on continuing their altercation. Evan intervenes, throwing Kessler into the snowy landscape. As a frightened Kessler flees, Casey advises Evan to refrain from pursuit. Ignoring this, Evan retrieves the discarded firearm and tracks Kessler to a desolate barn. Inside, as Kessler weakens from blood loss, Evan delivers a poignant monologue on the nature of souls. Attempting to escape once more, Kessler stumbles out of the barn and succumbs to his injuries in the snow. Back at the cottage, Evan and Casey observe as the program initiates the liberation of simulants globally. Eager to assist Casey, Evan is assured that the human version of Casey, Desmond, will soon arrive and that this sequence of events was orchestrated by Casey's creator. As Evan prepares to depart, he encounters an elderly Desmond, who enters the cottage. Sharing a heartfelt moment, Desmond reassures Casey that love has triumphed and grants him the solace of a peaceful end. Later, Evan heads home, catching Faye off guard while she swims. Despite his intentions, Faye remains resolute in her decision to part ways. Overwhelmed by anger, Evan forcibly submerges her, causing her to drown. Subsequently, Evan activates the Faye simulant, envisioning a fresh start. In a subsequent scene, Esme is acquired during an illicit auction. The winning bidder leads her to a nearby van where she's met by Desmond and the familiar canine companion. Presenting her with a cherished necklace, Desmond whisks her away, hinting at a hopeful future together. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.